Okay, so this is the progress report for our project, which is about the implementation of a high-speed railway across the United States. Our names are Sarah Cooley, Kelly Mayer Daner, Kendall Ivy, and Yuting Chang.
And so the purpose of our project is to discuss the benefits of implementing a high-speed railway across the United States and proposing to the American politicians. In the country, citizens and travelers mostly travel around the country by driving or by airplane. However, public transit system would not only drastically cut our carbon emission, but also create new jobs opportunity and will lower the number of deaths caused by automobile accident each year. In addition, it will lessen gas emission and reduce our dependency on foreign oil. We will be acquiring data that supports this claim through the experience of other nations across Asia and Europe. Comparing the advantage and disadvantage through transportation pattern will allow us to persuade our audience that our proposal will be effective.
For the summary of our project of constructing a high-speed railway across the U.S., some of the benefits included creating more jobs, less air pollution, and additional safety measures. The U.S. is very dependent on oil, so building the high-speed railway will decrease the annual oil spending. And we've been researching many different railways across the world, especially those in Asia and Europe, to learn from their building mistakes and the maintenance issues that they have to create a more refined model of the high-speed railway. Our project in total, we're expected to cost around $200 billion, taking around 10 years to finish construction. And our goal is to make the high-speed railway as safe as possible and as technically efficient.
Okay, so for our introduction, America needs a public method of travel that will cut carbon dioxide emissions of current travel methods, as well as drastically decrease the nation's dependency on foreign oil. Therefore, we as a team have been compiling research on various railway systems, as well as their economic value and environmental impacts. This presentation includes that compiled data, as well as updates of our research, prospective issues we may face, and the work to be completed.
Environmental conservation is one of the major concerns in the modern world. According to the statistic, almost 10% of environmental pollution is contributed by the transport system. In most countries like the United States, many people choose to use private transport system rather than public means. As a result, they increase the risk of excess carbon dioxide to the environment. According to our research, Asia were the first to begin implementing and improving the slab track system. With the first slab track line completed in Japan, the construction only took about 5 years, with the project costing around 3 billion in 1971, which is about 20 billion today. Another country that has grown rapidly due to the implementation of high-speed railway is England. England is one of the countries that has less contribution to the environmental environmental pollution from the transport system. The reason behind this is that the government has been encouraging people to use public means of transport. The government of England is highly investing in railroad to help in fighting environmental pollution in the country. Apart from the environmental issues, railroad have helped England in expanding its economy by almost 25%. Around 80% of goods produced locally are transported using railways. This has reduced the traffic jam in England by almost 20%.
So for the current status of our project, we have completed the research proposal and the individual research summaries and our progress report as well, which is here. As for the charts and graphs and the client report, those are both in progress, and we haven't started the project evaluation memos because we haven't completed our project yet. So that is where we are at as a collective.
So the assessment of our progress through our research of other high-speed railway systems around the world, we have found that the most effective and longest lasting tracks have been the slab track. And it's kind of like a mold that's made out of concrete that the train would sit on, and it drastically decreases the risk of derailment compared to the wooden and concrete pieces that are on the blasted track. The slab track doesn't have any actual tracks on it, but this is the most efficient design because of the safety, the very minimal maintenance it has, and the longevity compared to the standard track. Additionally, we have found that the current fastest railway in North America runs from Washington, D.C. to Boston and is operated by Amtrak. And with this information, we are able to use it as evidence to show as to reason why the US needs a cross-country railway system. And then this is just a picture comparing the two different tracks.
Work to be completed. More research is to be done on the benefits and rewards of a high-speed railway. This research can be accomplished by observing financial and environmental impacts recorded by other rail implementation in other countries. And a final version of the recommendation report will be written and delivered to prospective clients.
So as far as problems and potential solutions and potential problems and solutions that our group can identify during this project, one of them is just finding meeting times with conflicting schedules. We have people in different time zones as well as people that work full time and just have other obligations. So the solution that we have found to work best is just discussing meeting times in advance and setting a time that works for the majority of the group. Another potential problem we face is disagreements on how to move forward with the project, like sources to use, solutions to offer, the format, etc. So if we encounter this problem, we'll just be discussing it as a team and moving forward with the best option that the majority sees fit. Another potential problem is group members having a hard time collecting primary sources. One way to solve this is to reach out to friends and family on social media, and you may be surprised by the amount of people in your life that have actually worked for the railroad and may be able to offer some guidance or opinions for us. So yeah.
So these are our schedules. Basically, we will have meeting each week based on our projects. During the meeting, we will discuss about our project progress and share our researches and thoughts to each other. So this week we had a meeting and we communicated with team members about the progress report presentation and make sure that every members are on the same track.
So in conclusion, we found that constructing a high-speed railway would be extremely beneficial to increase safety measures, increase available jobs, and a decrease in emissions and annual oil costs. We found that the slab track would be more efficient compared to the standard track because of the safety issues and level of maintenance for upkeep required. Based on the cost of the other tracks around the world and comparing the small line on the east coast of the US, we're estimating around a 10-year construction time costing about $200 billion. It may seem very out of reach, but the money spent on construction will most likely be almost all of the money that's spent in total of this project because of the very minimal maintenance that the slab track requires. Thank you.